We're going to be in the state of Connecticut. This is going to be a live board of parole hearing.
Morning, Mr. Rosario.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm just waiting for your attorney to log in, and then we'll get started, okay?
All right, all right.
Sounds good.
There it is. There it is. Whoop, there. Hey, thank you for that. Duly, highly appreciated. Duly noted, if you will. James, you're not funny. That's what my boy says. You're not funny at all. Don't quit your day job. I won't. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. All right. So I'm just tying up some loose ends over here. I got some multiple streams going on, so I gotta go make sure. If you're not tapping, you are napping. Thank you for that.
How about now?
Appreciate that.
I can hear you.
Carson.
Oh, how about that? Okay, good.
All right, all right.
Did you get my email?
No.
No. So what I'm going to do today is, Mr. Rosario, this does not pertain to you, just so you know. I'm going to continue the case on the record, and its hearing will be April 8th.
Very good.
Okay?
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wait, what? What just happened? What happened with this guy? All right. How is everybody doing today? Hopefully you guys are doing good. I woke up early today. Went to sleep early yesterday. I've been tired, so knocked out. Woke up like at 3:30, so about 2.5 hours ago. Hey, thank you, Caddy. Highly appreciate that. And so I'm here. So I haven't been on for what, like the last week or so. I think since last like Monday or Tuesday. Hey, what's up? What's up, Damo? How's it going? Hey, how you going, mate? Hey, I can't complain. Whole morning. What kind of morning is that? Never had one of those before, I think. Or not in a long time, if you will. A whole morning. Gee, Gators. Yeah. All right. What was this guy's name? Did anybody catch this guy's name? I've been too busy talking over here to realize what his name was. Anybody catch his name, if you will? Highly appreciate if you guys do. So I could go ahead and hello, James. Where you been, man? I haven't been here. So I could tell you that much. Hey, what up, Scottish? Hey, my account's been restricted, and plus I've been having other things going on, so I haven't been able to jump on. But today I have some time, and he said it, but I haven't slept since then. Ha! That's right. We'll figure out his name right now. Morning, saludos. Hey, what's up? How's it going? It's a young rabbit. Welcome to You Have a Collect Call From. You see, this should be, let me see, it's 9 a.m. So it's going to be Oscar Rosario Torres should be the individual coming up. But we'll figure it out right now. We will figure it out. What's up, Sandra? Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Let's see right here. Bam. Put his information up on the screen, if you will. All right, and I gotta do one more thing before we're fully up and ready to go. I watched the entire Kentucky playlist on YouTube while you were gone. Hey, Gabriel. So I got more. I got some more that I actually gotta edit. There's 2 parole hearings that I put on private that I gotta edit, that I gotta put up. So definitely be on the lookout. And as a matter of fact, thank you for reminding me on that. I'm gonna check if they got any hearings going tomorrow. If they do have some hearings in Kentucky, we're definitely gonna be tuning into Kentucky, if you will. Let me see. Hey, Carson, don't be a Krabby Patty. Hey, if you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free 99. Are you out of your mind? Let me see. She writes, yes, can't wait. Thank you for what you're doing. Love it. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Let me see. What is that name right there? Tulip for you too. Welcome. Let me see. Let me make the chat a little bit bigger right here. And they restricted my visibility for like over a week now. So I think I come off with the visibility restrictions today. So let me see who else here. Who else is here? What's up? What's up, Liz? How's it going? If you will, you know what? As a matter of fact, I gotta make. Oh, you know what? I gotta make sure I'm charging up the devices. Hold up, I'll be right back. I got the handy dandy chargers over here. the portable chargers, if
And
you
you
will.
just have to unmute yourself. Can you hear us?
He might be having the same audio issue as Attorney Maddox.
Okay. So what would he, go ahead.
Attorney O'Brien, if you can leave the meeting and just try to rejoin, it doesn't look like we're having any audio from you. So if you just close out of this window and try to join the live event again.
All right. So I make sure everything's charging up right now, because I hate when my devices die in the middle of a
Unmuting
stream.
doesn't do anything at the moment. It's not picking up your microphone.
Hey, what up, Kentucky? How's it going? Welcome, man. I'm glad to be back
Oh,
on.
we can't hear you.
Hey, thank you. Highly appreciate that. Appreciate that heart. Heart me if you will.
First, you need him to log off and log back on.
Log off. We're having some technical difficulty this morning, but hey,
Yeah, he is leaving now.
it be like that sometimes. Let me see. While we try to iron out these technical difficulties over here, let me go ahead and make sure I got all my stuff ready. Hey, can you guys hear me good? How does it sound? If you guys can give me a thumbs up if you hear me. If you can't hear me, do a thumbs down. And if you do a thumbs down, I know you're lying, if you will. So if you guys can let me know if, how the audio is coming in. Let's get the chat right here on the screen. Bam, the messages are coming in. Thumbs up, that's right. And let me go ahead and give a shout out to everybody. I appreciate you guys, dedicating your time, your valuable time to us over here at CollectCallFrom. Everybody that's in here, wherever you're tuning in from, if you're from the US, if you're from Central America, if you're from South America, if you're from the UK, you're from Australia, you're from Europe, Africa, anywhere and everywhere, if you will. Appreciate you guys. We got Victoria in here. That's right. I'm assuming that's Victoria, Australia. Ohio. We got Liz coming in from Ohio.
And now you could try unmuting.
We got Kirsten Vasquez. Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Yes, ma'am. I hear you loud.
Washington
I hear
State,
you loud. and
Jersey
clear.
in the
I'm sorry.
house.
That's okay. No, we had a
Kentucky,
problem with the
Pennsylvania, Las Vegas,
audio, so we
Cali,
are good to go now. I can hear
yeah.
everybody.
Right.
So we're going to get started with the revocation hearing.
All right,
Yes,
all right.
ma'am.
You heard that we're about to get
Good
started.
morning. I am P.O. Meisinger, hearing examiner for the Board of Pardons and Paroles revocation hearing concerning Rosario Torres Oscar number 158633. Today is March 31st, 2025. This hearing is being conducted via video at the BOPP Central Office in the Carl Robinson Correctional Institution. This is a public hearing. Public access to this hearing is available via video live stream. Can you please state your full name and DOC inmate number for the record, sir?
Oscar Rosario Torres, 158633.
Thank you. Your counsel here today, can you please identify yourself for the record?
Yes, good morning, Miss Attorney John O'Brien of Manchester on behalf of Mr. Rosario Torres.
Thank you. This is a revocation hearing to determine whether you have violated conditions of your release. I will review and make findings of facts to each of the charges against you. The state, not you, has responsibility to prove the allegations by a preponderance of evidence, that is, the better weighted evidence must establish that, more probable than not, the allegation is true. If I do not find there is a preponderance of evidence to support a violation of one or more conditions of your parole, I'll reinstate your parole, which is releasing you, place you back on parole supervision. If I find you have violated one or more conditions of your parole, I will consider whether or not your parole should be revoked. If I recommend revocation, I'll make a recommendation as to appropriate sanction, and my recommendation will be given to a panel for a final decision. If the panel wishes to impose a sanction beyond my recommendation, a supplemental hearing would be provided to justify additional confinement. So this is the procedure for today. I'm going to read you your rights. Then we're going to review the parole violation charge, state your PO is bringing against you. I will review and identify exhibit file for the record. Counsel will then have an opportunity to present relevant testimony. After considering all the evidence presented, I will announce my findings. If I find that you have violated one or more conditions of your parole, counsel will have an opportunity to speak to your background and history. Do you have any questions about the purpose or procedure before we begin?
No.
And for
Okay,
these,
you have important rights today.
we're going to
You have
find
to
out
have an
right now,
attorney present.
today.
You have counsel here. You have a right to receive the written notice of charge of the violation. Did you receive the written notice?
Yes.
You have a right to view the evidence against you. You have a right to submit evidence supporting your case. At this hearing, you have a right to call and examine voluntary witnesses to cross-examine adverse witnesses. Do you understand these rights, and are you ready to move forward?
that last part, I haven't seen any evidence regarding my revocation, you know, with the claims and allegations and charges against me. So that's where the problem lays, that, you know, I want to
Well, you received the packet of information from the parole board, correct? That's what I'm asking you, if what you received.
correct,
So,
yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
Hey, why is he
That's
fondling
what
himself?
probation,
He was fondling himself.
you know, that came from probation, not parole. I mean, it was given to parole because parole
Well,
didn't.
it's what we have. It's what we have for your violation.
Correct,
Okay.
correct.
So I'm going to move on. So we now review the charge the state your appeal is bringing against you, any information underlying each charge. Charge 1 under release direction GPS. You're charging officer reported on 1/12/24. The offender left his residence from 11 p.m. to 11:05 p.m. Offender's curfew was 9 p.m. On 1/17/24, the offender failed to charge GPS unit properly, leading to the GPS unit shutting down from 5:16 p.m. until 5:24 p.m. And on 3/8/24, the offender failed to charge the GPS unit properly, leading to the GPS unit shutting down from 4:44 p.m. till 9:25 p.m. Charge 2 under obey all laws, obedience to the law. Your charging officer reported on 9/27/23, the offender failed to report to sex offender treatment. On 10/3/23 and 10/14/23, the offender failed to report to his probation officer. On 11/29/23, offender was found in possession of an unapproved smartphone. On 12/7/23, the offender was found in possession of an unapproved tablet. On 12/18/23, the offender left the Any Center on a work pass to go to work. The offender's employer was called and there was no work that day. On 2/7/24, discovered the offender had not been attending mental health treatment for 2 months. On 3/8/24, the forensic examination of the offender's phone, which was previously seized, was seized, showing the offender being in possession of 35 sexually explicit images and using Telegram as well as installing Instagram and TikTok applications. On 5/6/24, after reviewing cell phone data, discovered the offender was having a sexual relationship with 3 women, which he failed to disclose to his probation officer. The offender was calling and texting multiple women, attempting to arrange dates and have sexual relations. On 5/28/24, the offender lied to his probation officer regarding the name of the woman he's in a relationship with. The offender was asked more about her residence, and he disclosed that minors visit the residence. Subsequently, on 6/18/24, a warrant for the offender's arrest was signed, charging him with violation of probation. I will put on the record that the addendum reported on January 9th, 2025, the offender was convicted of violation of probation, received a sentence of 13 years jail, execution suspended 2 years with 14 years probation to follow.
14 years.
I have an EOS date for that of 6/12/26 at this time on that sentence. And the state has followed the following exhibits that are pre-marked for identification purposes. As Exhibit A, remand to custody. B, parole violation report. C, notice of parole violation. D, conditions of parole. E, misconducts. F, GPS monitoring agreement. G, violation of probation warrant. And H is pending case detail. I will note charge 3 is not taken in consideration. You were not charged with mental health treatment as far as parole goes. Did you receive notice of parole violation report, and those other documents I marked? And did you review those?
Yes.
Okay. And do you need to continue trying to obtain any additional evidence?
I want to see this electronic evidence that they have. These 35 explicit images.
Well,
I'm sure you would like to.
Listen, I've
like to see
seen
them.
your case like 15 times.
I
understand that you disagree with this. I completely understand. So if you're attorney, do you need
100%.
to obtain any new evidence? Is there a reason why this should be continued?
I do not believe so, ma'am. We're prepared to make argument, and I believe that the state will be unable to produce evidence in support of many of the allegations contained in the charging sheet here.
Okay. And I have no witnesses at this time. So it's now defense opportunity. Mr. Rosario, do you plan on speaking today at all?
If I need to.
I'm gonna swear you in under oath in case you do speak. So if you can just raise your right hand for me, please.
This
You
guy's gonna
solemnly
lose it.
swear, solemnly affirm, as the case may be, the evidence you shall give concerning this case should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God upon penalty of perjury.
Yes.
Okay. So Mr. O'Brien, if you can go forward now with whatever you'd like to say.
All right, thank you. I would respectfully submit, without going into detail,
Go into details.
The GPS violations are de minimis. 5 minutes, 8 minutes. These are not cause for a violation of parole, not cause for a violation of probation. The fact that on one occasion he left it uncharged. But I would like Mr. Rosario Torres to address the issues of his mental health treatment and specifically his sex offender treatment and the allegation that he left sex offender treatment without permission or without any authorization from anyone. And I would ask him to explain that to you with respect to his work at the Connections.
Okay.
Mr. Rosario Torres?
Okay, when I got out and I met Anne-Marie Mushhorn in Middletown while I was at the Eddy Center, and I formally met my probation officer for that area, I was told I was going to start that offender treatment at, I believe, 22 Court Street, the Connections, for this offender treatment. I started going. I went to maybe 2 or 3, a handful of sessions where I would go at 2 o'clock, I believe, every Wednesday. And I was reporting was once a week. And finally, they knew I had a pending habeas corpus. The director from Connections, along with another coworker, they have records at the Connections that state that Mr. Rosario Torres was unable to complete or attend their treatment program because I couldn't disclose matters of my case because I have a pending habeas corpus in the GA district of Rockville, Connecticut, with attorney Jason Goddard out of Hartford. They told me I cannot attend. That was reiterated to probation officer Anne-Marie Mushhorn, and now after the fact, with all of these allegations, they're throwing that into the mix and saying that I chose not to comply and leave the program of my own accord, which is 100% unequivocally untrue.
Unequivocally. Use that in a
And
sentence.
that information was communicated to your probation officer at the time, Anne-Marie Mushhorn.
And Kelly DiCaprio afterwards, because she made a big deal about it. Oh, you didn't go to offender treatment. So, and then she went about finding the Sterling Center with Eliza. There's a program in Cromwell. I started that program. I met with Eliza one-on-one, and I was going to that one for several weeks. And that one's at night. And there's records of me going there because my insurance is being billed. If you look at my Husky insurance, you can see that the dates are that it's true that I was going to these places. There's evidence out there to exonerate me on 90% of these charges.
Okay, the thing is, you're being charged of obedience to law and you received a new conviction. So that's what I'm looking at. If you want to explain to me, like exactly like you just did about how you did attend sex offender treatment.
Right.
Those are the things, I mean, you could say that, but you still were convicted and received that new conviction and with a sentence. So that's what we're looking at. You received a new conviction.
Well,
So,
I understand, but I also want you to know and take into consideration that with that judge, Judge Prats, is that on that conviction, I'm looking to take back that plea for other reasons, because I know that that electronic information on that phone, I didn't install those apps. I didn't download any explicit images. I need to see the evidence. And like I said, you're right. The conviction is there. I did accept it. But like my original case, I'm taking back my plea because I'd rather go to trial and face more time. And when you read off, the charges and everything else, that I accepted a sentence of 13 years. I did 1 year of probation. 1 year should have came off. My lawyer knows about this. So there's all these discrepancies and all these things that I get hit with that are incorrect by the judicial system, the courts or whomever, my supervising officers, and then I have to suffer the ramifications.
Thank you, Green Eye Bandit.
I did do a year of probation out there. It shouldn't be 13. It should be 12.
Do you guys love the
I
TikTok shop?
understand what you're saying completely.
Diesel.
I am going to give you a chance to talk to the second part of the hearing, which involves the mitigating factors. Do you have anything else you want to say in regards to just those two charges is all I'm looking at right now?
Yeah, ma'am. I was going to treatment. I went to treatment. After that program, I left and I moved to New Britain and I started working in New Britain and I was living there. Once I left the Eddy Center, I went to another. I didn't go to Connections because Connections legal board, their attorneys advised against me attending. I started going to the Sterling Center, who has 2 locations in Connecticut. I was going to the one in Cromwell and I was going there for a while.
Okay.
So I never refused.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Yes. Mr. Rosario Torres, did your parole officer approve for you to have a tablet?
Correct. Officer P.O. Norton, whom I never met face to face, according to the Eddy Center staff, when after the phone issue, because that was my mother's phone. My mother is the one with the Facebook account. That's her phone.
Oh, so she's the one that had the images.
Facebook. If you go look at that phone right now, log into it, you'll see that that's my mother's phone, Nydia Torres, and that's her Facebook account. I wasn't on Facebook. Okay. I don't want to. Okay, so
these are going to be some mitigating factors that we can talk about for the second part of the hearing. Because as I already explained, you already have a conviction for that. So I'm looking at the GPS and I'm looking at the obedience to law charge, which you received a conviction.
Correct.
Okay. So we can talk about the mitigating factors at the second part of it. Okay.
No, but just to answer his question, yes, I was authorized to have that tablet per the staff at the Eddy Center.
And I hope
took it and never returned it.
I hope this guy loses it and they pepper spray him.
At some point in time, Mr. Rosario Torres, did your Anne-Marie Mushhorn, your probation officer, make contact with the 3 women with whom you were acquainted?
Not Anne-Marie Mushhorn. After it was with Kelly DiCaprio. She made contact with all 3 women in front of me. She called each and every single one as I was in her office.
And each one of those women acknowledged that they were not having a sexual relationship with you. Is that correct?
One out of the 3. You know what? She just inferred that just by the text messages, because I don't know where she got that with Mary, because me and Mary were never intimate. And I don't want to use their full names, but she just inferred that from us getting together to watch movies. That was inferred from the data that was going back and forth through text messages. But
and the 3
those women will justify that we did not have sexual relations, and I was not calling them to solicit relationships. These people all knew my record and my checkered past and everything that I've been convicted of. And they still chose to have a relationship with me, to be friends and conduct. These are all people that are over 50 years old. These are not, and I also just to go back to this, Mary never said, and nor did I ever say that minors go to her house. She doesn't even have any grandchildren.
Okay. So we're still getting into mitigating factors.
I love the hand movements.
Is there anything else
this is going to be
you want
good.
to say for the first part of the hearing? This
is going to be good. Mark my words.
Ma'am. Thank you.
All right. So what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to announce my findings. So on that charge 1, I do find you violated the condition GPS. This is based on evidence that was provided, which is exhibits D, E, F, and I. And on charge 2, I do find you violated condition obedience to the law based on your conviction, a violation of probation, received a sentence of 13 years, execution suspended after 2 years with 14 years probation. This is also based on the exhibits that were provided, D, B, and G. So that's the fact-finding portion of the hearing. Before I make a recommendation, counsel will have an opportunity to speak to your background and history. This purpose part of the hearing is to help determine what outcome I will recommend. So at this time, if there's anything in addition you'd like to add, as far as what your release plan would look like, any other mitigating factors that you didn't discuss yet that we've already addressed, you could do that now.
Yes, ma'am. So I would, with respect to mitigation, I would respectfully point out on these findings of the GPS that in and of themselves, they are very minor, both in time, both in the number of violations, 5 minutes, 8 minutes, and then one occasion an uncharged or a depleted battery in that remote. I think with the issue of the treatment and his non-compliance with treatment, I believe that he's accurately answered that question or that issue, addressed that issue by virtue of being told by the connections that due to his seeking relief from that conviction that caused him to have the sex offender treatment, that he could therefore not fully participate if that conviction was going to be reversed or is being contested. And it is being contested in a habeas case. So he did not, in and of himself, walk away from treatment. He was sent to alternative treatment, which he complied with on an individual basis. With respect to the relationships, there never was any proof, any acknowledgement by anyone of being engaged in a relationship with my client at any time outside of just a simple acquaintanceship or friendship. But I believe that Mr. Rosario Torres is prepared to address his plans for a return to the community and what his situation would be there.
And he does look like Mr. Clean, right? Like my life's peachy.
Mr. Rosario Torres, upon your release, upon your ultimate release, what are your plans, sir?
To do exactly what I did the first time.
Violate again? Damn.
Yeah.
That is, a facsimile copy of what I did the first time, and that entails when I got out, I didn't need to go to that halfway house. It was horrible. It was poorly run.
Thank you for that.
You have a sponsor?
I do have a sponsor.
Renee.
I have money to have my own apartment. That's what I did the first time. I went to the Eddy Center for, God knows, almost 6 months.
Well, if you were to discharge right now, do you have sponsor information available to me, or do you need placement in a halfway house before you get your own place?
No, ma'am. I would have my own place. I would have my own job. I have a car. I have a bank account.
Well, I can't parole you. Do you own your own residence right now?
I don't, but I have family.
So you have to go to a sponsor's house, or I would have to parole you to a halfway house. So which would it be?
I would have a sponsor for now, but I mean, it depends on when I get out. I mean, I can have a place like that. My family, they own real estate.
I can't parole you out like that, and you'd have to have that right now. So who is your sponsor?
Who is your sponsor?
Lillian J. Rivera, my sister.
Lillian Rivera?
Yeah, middle initial J's and Juliet.
As in Jack.
Do you have the address and phone number?
I have her phone number, 689 250
Okay.
3714.
All right. Thank you.
You don't know the address? Do you know what town it is?
Well, she resides with my mother, and she also has a place in Middletown. So, so I don't know which of the two addresses she would use. That would be up to her.
All right. So I'd have to put halfway house in there right now because you don't have information for me for sponsor. So what halfway house area would you go to if this does not work? Hartford, Waterbury, New Haven,
New Britain.
New Britain has halfway?
No, Hartford's closest.
Oh, no, not Hartford.
New Haven, Waterbury, Norwich, those are, I mean, Bridgeport.
New Haven?
New Haven?
Yeah, I don't want to go back to Middletown.
Okay, so you can work on getting that sponsor information. If you get a referral date, work on right to the IPO there with your sponsor information, or your attorney can also email me your sponsor information so that I can update that for you. Okay. Do you have a job, or do you plan on, what does that look like?
I have a job. I was working when I was relocated on 6/18/2024. I worked for Tree Wise Guys.
Okay.
And that's in New Britain at 4 Woodland Street.
You plan on going back there or no?
I plan on going back there.
Is that full-time or part-time?
That is full-time.
Full-time.
Yeah, like 5 minimum 5 days a week, sometimes 7.
Okay. Any other plans you have when you get released?
I had my CDL before, so I've been studying here, taking advantage of this time. So I've been studying for my CDL, and everywhere I go, since I've been transferred from county to Cheshire to McDougal to here. So every time you go, they change your offender, your OAP. So everything here is a wait list for programs. It's insane. So it's a wait list. So they've changed the programs that they want me to do. Now they put a 5 to 7 day job and new thoughts. Before it was anger management and something else. I did some of those programs already and have completed them successfully. So I'm really trying to do something here where it's more towards finishing my degree with that Stuntop Community College, but I got waitlisted.
Okay.
So I'm just reading and studying my CDL so I can go back and get that licensure again so I can drive the big trucks at work and make more money.
Oh man, you're jumping from chat to chat. Thank you. Highly appreciate that.
All right. Is there anything else you want to add before I take a break to make a recommendation?
Just
from either. Okay. Based on my charges, based on my original charges, when I go in there to get supervised, just looking back in hindsight, and having the second officer, not Anne Marie Mushhorn, but just hearing what that officer had to say, and I'm not gonna, say it on the record, but it wasn't a good start because of the kind of charge that I had. I had 2 GPS bracelets on me. I had tracking software on my phone. Everyone with charges like me, when they got to the Eddy Center, they all had phones. I was the only one. I had no crime with a computer or phone or anything. There was no reason for me not to have a phone. They made me wait months to get a phone.
Rightfully so. So I take responsibility for having the phone because it was my mother's, and she's like, here, so you can call me directly. I took the phone. You think I would take my mother's phone and use it for pornographic? Yeah.
I'm not here for that. I didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Explicit images, porn, whatever it is. There was no porn. Explicit images, I've never seen them. This evidence was never given to me. And like I said, the GPS violation where I left for 5 minutes. I told the officer, that was the first day I got it, man. And I forgot the charger in the car. I ran across the street. I live across the street from the police department in New Britain. I run across the street. I'm on video. I even got that video from my apartment to show why I went to that car and came back and showed that video on a computer to my PO officer. That was Lisa Brayfield. Okay? It was a mistake, but I needed the charger because if not, I wasn't going to page her or call her at 11 o'clock p.m. I ran and I had 2 heart attacks. I ran and made it across the street and back in 5 minutes. The other time we went on for 4 minutes, that was a glitch on the GPS.
No, I do understand, and your attorney did express that they were 5 minutes. So I do take all that into consideration when I'm going to make a recommendation. Is there anything further before I make a recommendation?
Man, the way that warrant read about those women made him sound like they were prostitutes. Like I was calling them, and the way that those supervisors spoke to me said that it made it feel like they were sex workers. The verbiage on there changed from the original time that I was served with the information of the charges against me. Those documents were altered and changed, and the verbiage changed. And it said that I was soliciting these women for sex. Nowhere on those text messages will we see that any money was going to change places. For God's sakes, one of them came and met my family and became my girlfriend. And she works for the state of Connecticut. She almost lost her job because I was incarcerated.
I understand. All right, so Attorney O'Brien, is there anything you'd like to say before I...
No, thank you, ma'am. I think we've addressed the central issues that ultimately this is a violation of the terms and conditions of his probation, not the terms and conditions of his parole. At no time did he have any problems faithfully abiding by the rules and regulations of his parole. And we would respectfully ask you to take that into consideration here. Thank you.
Thank you.
One final thing, Ms. Messenger. There says that on whatever day it was that I missed an appointment with Anne Marie Mushhorn, I used to walk from the Eddy Center on Silver Street all the way down to Main Street, which was a nice walk. but I wouldn't take the bus. And I went to probation. I was always in the afternoons. I remember once or twice going there and they said that Anne Marie Mushhorn wasn't in the office. One time another officer saw me. Another time they gave me an appointment card to come back. And now here we are a year removed from that and they're saying that I missed an appointment. I've never missed any of those appointments. I know my stipulations and I know that I can be revoked and reincarcerated. You think I would go out there and I did all my programs here.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying.
Yes, thank you.
One more thing is, do you plan on doing the mental health treatment in the community?
I plan on doing that until I'm gone because it helps me. Where I'm at now is it's insane. I'm doing mental health treatment while I'm here, and that's voluntary. I go to see mental health because it helps me.
Right. I just want to know if you plan on doing that when you get back out. So you're going to continue with that in the community?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there somewhere you go for that you prefer?
Well, I was going to my own private doctor, Dr. Ken Green, out of Community Health Center, CHC. Probation told me I could no longer see my own doctor. They took me out, and they forced me to go to. I'm just saying
if there's somewhere you prefer, like when you go, as far as your release plan goes.
Oh, there is. But I don't think I'm going to be allowed to do that because of probation.
Okay. Well, I understand that you want to continue your treatment. You already are in it now, and you want to continue in the community, correct?
Yeah, they're going to put me back at Wheeler Clinic, man. I'm going to go to 40 Hart Street in New Britain, and I'm going to continue to go there and see Alexis Beckford. That was my therapist there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure with that. Make sure we were on the same page with that, and that was your plan. So that I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're involved in treatment right now at the facility as well.
Yes,
so I'm just going to I have some points to make on the record, and then I'm going to move forward with my recommendation because I have listened to all the testimony today, and I have reviewed all the evidence that was provided by the state. As I previously stated, you did receive that violation of probation conviction, which received the 2-year sentence with 14 years probation to follow. The US date on that is 6/12/26. Your pending eligibility date on that sentence is 6/11/25. And you are on special parole until 6/18/26. You were in the community for about a year before you returned on the probation violation, in which you received that new sentence. Your officer recommended a year incarceration. You did receive 3 misconducts. You have no prior violations on parole. This is your first parole violation.
Wow.
As well as part records, I see no criminal.
Look at him breathing.
Past community release is to the community. So this is like your first time. So I am taking that all into consideration, as well as the few minutes that you were late on the GPS, and I look at that as well. So based on all this information I have, I am going to recommend that parole be revoked and that you be re-paroled for 6/11/25, which is your eligibility date for parole on your new sentence. I recommend the following parole conditions: halfway house placement, behavior management program for domestic violence, no contact with your victims KS and JR, no contact with minors without PO's permission, mental health treatment and medication compliance, problem sexual behavior treatment, and MOA. My findings are going to go to the parole board on April 10th. So the parole board's going to review my recommendation. They can't lessen it. That's the least sanction that I can give, which is that ends up being a year sanction. So they can let my sanction stand, or they can impose a longer sanction than what I've recommended. So they can revoke all special parole or extend that sentence if they do want a longer sentence. They can impose. If they do want something longer than what I've recommended, they bring you back and you'd have a supplemental hearing, and then you would talk to them if they had any concerns. Do you have any questions about that, sir? You understand?
I understand everything perfectly, but something that happened when we went back on January 9th, just going back to January 9th, 14 years probation? You said that I have a suspended sentence of 13 years. But you read that last part. Just I don't understand. 14
I'm reading
years.
what the addendum says.
Yeah, so, I know. I don't. that doesn't, why didn't it change, Attorney O'Brien? Remember we talked about that when you came here to visit me?
But that's
Well,
not,
you were sentenced to 13 years, execution suspended after 2 years with 14 years probation.
that's probation, and that's a separate proceeding with respect to the court as opposed to the parole, which has to do with your Rockville case, Mr. Rosario.
So my probation went up.
If you have questions, you can call your attorney. I unfortunately, with the court issued, I can't explain, but, so on April, like I said, April 10th, you're gonna know, what the board's decision is. You can talk to your attorney because he will be notified. We'll let him know, or you're gonna get it a week after in writing from us too. So you'll get what the board's decision is in the mail. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so you're all set. I'm trying to give you another chance to go up. You were doing well with us on parole. So I hope you continue, doing that in the community, okay?
Yes,
I will.
thank you. He will.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
you're all set for today, then work on getting me the sponsor information if you want me to enter that. Just, okay?
We will.
I will,
Thank you.
if I address the letter to you and the attorney, I can just put I have your name
Yes.
on my documents and send it right to Waterbury?
Yeah, you can do that if you'd like. Yep.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, so you're all set for today, sir.
thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Attorney
you.
O'Brien.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good day.
I'll give you a call, Mr. O'Brien.
Okay.
Next.
All right, I'll call
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, bye.
Don't call me. I'll call you, but I won't be calling. Anyhow, hey, up next, let's see who's coming up next. For anybody that's wondering, this is the state of Connecticut. These are revocation hearings, if you will. So he is gonna. Hey, what's up, Coco? He is gonna get paroled in June. Luckily, he has 14 years probation. That's a long time to be on paper. Hey, but he signed for that deal. Hey, no reason to cry about it now. Nobody made you sign that deal. You did that to yourself. You brought that upon yourself, if you will.
Good morning, sir. I'll be right with you.
All right. Let me see. Let's see who the next individual is coming up here. If you guys want to go ahead and get your Twitter fingers ready to look the individual up, get ready now. Let me see. The next person up should be Kevin Willis. Kevin Willis, if you will. All right. Let's see. Hey, and if you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free 99. Are you out of your mind? Doesn't cost you a cent.
Good morning, sir.
Follow.
Morning.
We're here today for your revocation hearing.
Yes.
So we're gonna get started, okay?
Yep.
Good morning, I am Pio Meisinger, a hearing examiner for the Board of Pardons and Paroles. This is a revocation hearing concerning Rivera Waldar Rivera, number 249194.
249.
Today is March 31st, 2025. This hearing is being conducted via video at the BOPP Central Office in Colorado Robinson Correctional Institution. This is a public hearing. Public access to this hearing is available via video live stream. Can you please state your full name and DOC inmate number for the record?
I'm Waldemar Rivera, 249194.
You have counsel here today. Who's identify yourself?
Good morning, Public Defender Robert M. McCletty of the Parole Revocation Unit. Hello, sir.
Hello.
This is a revocation hearing to determine whether you have violated the conditions of your release. I will review and make findings of fact as each of the charges against you. The state, not you, responsibility to prove the allegations by a preponderance of evidence, that is, the better weighted evidence must establish that, more probable than not, the allegation is true. If I do not find that there is a preponderance of evidence to support a violation of one or more conditions of your parole, I'll reinstate your parole. We can release you and place you back on parole supervision. If I find that you have violated one or more conditions of your parole, I will consider whether or not your parole should be revoked. If I recommend revocation, I'll make recommendation as to appropriate sanction, and my recommendation will be given to a panel for a final decision. The panel which is to impose a sanction beyond my recommendation, a supplemental hearing would be provided to justify additional confinement. This is the procedure for today. I'm going to read you your rights. Then we're going to review the parole violation charge the state your PO is bringing against you. I will review and identify exhibits filed for the record. Counsel will then have an opportunity to present a relevant testimony. After considering all the evidence presented, I'll announce my findings. If I find that you have violated one or more conditions of your parole, counsel will have an opportunity to speak to your background and history. Do you have any questions about the purpose or procedure?
No.
Okay, you have important rights today. The right to have an attorney present. You have counsel here. You have a right to receive the written notice that charges the violation. Did you receive the written notice?
Yes.
You have a right to review the evidence against you before the hearing. You have a right to submit evidence in support of your case. At this hearing, you have a right to call and examine voluntary witnesses and cross-examine adverse witnesses. Do you understand these rights and are you ready to move forward?
Yes.
All right, so now review the charge. The state appeal is bringing against you and the information underlying each charge. So charge 1 are bail laws will be into the law. Your charging officer reported on 11/6/24, you were operating a motor vehicle. You failed the one-leg stand and walk and turn field sobriety test. It was determined you were under the influence of alcohol and submitted a chemical breath test sample, which indicated a positive result of 0.1906 BAC. Based on your actions, you were charged with operation of a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol and or drugs and failure to obey a stop sign. Charge 2 under no consumption of alcoholic beverages. Your charging officer reported on 11/6/24, you're operating a motor vehicle. You failed the one-leg stand and walk and turn field sobriety test.
Not the one-leg stand.
You were under the influence of alcohol and submitted a chemical breath test sample, which indicated a positive result of 0.1906 BAC. On 11/8/24, you signed a voluntary admission form indicating that you drank alcohol. And the state has filed the following exhibits that are pre-marked for identification purposes as Exhibit A, conditions of special parole. B, decision information summary. C, Bristol Police Report ending in 45073. D, voluntary admission form 11/8/24. E, judicial branch pending case detail. F, remand actual custody order. G, parole violation report. And H is notice of parole violation. Did you receive notice of parole violation report, and those other documents I marked? And did you review those?
Rookie mistake doing the one-leg stand. That's how you know he's a rookie. He should have not done it.
I will put on the record, I've seen an addendum from PCS. The addendum reported on 2/26/25. We're convicted of illegal operation of a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs, with all their charges dismissed, and received a sentence of 6 months, execution suspended for 2 days, with 18 months probation for that. And counsel has filed the following exhibit that is pre-marked for identification purposes. That's Defense Exhibit 1, lists of parole accomplishments and future plans for parole reinstatement, and Exhibit 2, which is a letter from an employer. Do you need to continue this hearing to obtain any additional evidence?
We do not.
Okay, we don't have any witnesses today, so it's now defense's opportunity. If you'd like to speak to any evidence at this time?
As a result of the conviction and the admission, and no comment as the tolerance standard.
And he has a fuchi face. Like his face just looks
All right,
out
so
like.
what I'm going to do next is I'm going to announce my findings. So on that charge 1, I do find you violated that condition, obey all laws, obedience to the law. Based on your conviction of illegal operation of motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs, and received a sentence of 6 months, execution suspended for 2 days, 18 months probation, with all our charges dismissed, as well as exhibits that showed that were provided A, C, and D. On charge 2, I do find you violated condition no consumption of alcoholic beverages based on the evidence provided, which is exhibits A, C, and G. And that includes the fact-finding portion of the hearing. Before I make a recommendation, counsel will have an opportunity to speak to your background and history. This purpose part of the hearing is to help determine what outcome I will recommend. So if you would like to.
Yes, he was out on parole for some time. He was remanded on November 20th. This is his first violation. He's a first offender, mandatory minimum sentence, no accidents, no injuries, admitted the alcohol. As I stated, this is his first violation. He's 45 years of age. He received supports from his cousin, aunts, and his significant other, Rosario Torres. He has earned 30 general studies credits. He was did junk removal at Junk General. He was full-time there. And most recently, beginning in February of 2024, he's working full-time metal sorter at ELT Utica Alloys. I draw your attention. He was also training new hires. I draw your attention to Exhibit 2, which is an excellent letter from his employer. He's focused attentive to detail. His vision as a metal sorter was the hardest to learn. He's not only mastered the job, he's now able to train new hires. I will personally vouch for him. He's a valued member of our team. Signed Maureen Brogan. My client, I believe that he should be released at the next possible date. The parole officer is recommending 5 months. He's been in for approximately 4 or 5 months. I'd ask that he be released as soon as possible. He was engaging in individual psychotherapy at Willard Clinic, weekly outpatient services. While incarcerated, he completed a DUI program, New Thoughts program, employed as a detail worker beginning in January. He'd like to be sponsored once again by his cousin, Jose Lopez in Southington. And he can return, as the letter states, to
He's not frozen.
Alloys Incorporated. He's amenable to all treatment recommendations. I think this is pretty straightforward. No violence. And I think that he should be monitored back on parole as soon as possible. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I have reviewed all the evidence provided by the state and listened to testimony. I will put on the record the offender was on parole for about a year before he returned on for the new conviction he received for illegal operation of motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol or drugs. He did complete that sentence at this time. Does have 18 months probation to follow.
This guy doesn't blink, right? Man, I would lose the
He does
blinking
have,
contest with this guy.
No misconducts and no prior parole violations on this period of supervision. He is on supervision until November of 2028 for special parole.
But I'd rather let this guy out than the other guy, than the first guy.
Or until the criminal matters are disposed.
DUI.
Based on all this information, I'm going to recommend that parole be revoked and that you be re-paroled for April 10th, 2025. It's 4 months and 21 days, period of confinement as a sanction. I recommend the following parole conditions: no consumption of alcoholic beverages, operation of motor vehicle, no contact with your co-defendant, Ivan Luciano, and no contact with victims, family of the deceased victim, KC. My findings go on the parole board on April 10th. So if the board agrees with me, you would be released that day. If they don't agree with me, that means they want a longer sanction. So you'd have a supplemental hearing and the board would bring you back to talk to you if they decided they would want that. And you would be notified of that. Do you have any questions?
He's hiding something in his beard.
Well, if they agree to it, will I hear about that as well?
You'll be released that day. So you'll know. If they say yes on April 10th, you're leaving that day.
Okay.
So you'll know. If you're there past April 10th, that means that you're going to get a letter.
Yeah.
And you can talk to your attorney as well.
So you should hopefully be released on April 10th, which is in about 11 days.
All right.
Okay. If you don't get released on that day, call me. Okay.
All right.
All right. Take care, sir.
You too. You guys have a good morning.
You too.
Next.
Have a good day.
I had to refollow you. Something is off. Okay. So yeah, I guess apparently he did. It looks like he took somebody's life.
Did you need me?
Get out.
No, you're all set.
Go.
All right.
Get him down on the way. Anyhow, hey, so for those of you that are just joining us right now, this is Connecticut live Board of Parole hearings. This is live, James? Coming to you live and direct. You know what I'm saying? If you will. All right. So the next individual, we do have quite a few individuals coming up today. This is going to be the second one of the day, if you will. Who's coming up next? Let me pull up my roster over here. The next one should
Morning, sir.
It should be Kevin.
Mr. Wills?
Yes.
That's him. Kevin.
We're here today for your preliminary hearing.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to proceed with that this time, okay?
Yes.
Good morning. I am P.O. Meisinger, a hearing examiner for the Board of Pardons and Paroles.
This is
preliminary hearing.
This is highly
Kevin, number 135763.
illegal.
Today is March 31st, 2025. This hearing is being conducted via video at the BOPP Central Office in Colorado Rapids Correctional Institution. This is a public hearing and public access. This hearing is available via video live stream. Can you please state your full name and DOC inmate number for the record?
Kevin Wills, 135763.
This is a preliminary hearing, which the purpose is under Connecticut law. It's to determine if there is probable cause to believe you commit an act that violated the conditions of your parole, determine if the act is sufficiently serious to warrant revocation of your parole, and to determine if you should be held in prison pending further proceedings. The state, not you, has responsibility to show there's probable cause to believe you violated one or more conditions of your parole. If I do not find probable cause, I'll reinstate your parole, which is releasing you and placing you back on parole supervision. If I find probable cause and determine the act is sufficiently serious to warrant revocation, you may be held in prison pending further proceedings. You should know a preliminary hearing is an adversarial proceeding, and you say this hearing can be used against you, this hearing is being recorded. So this is the procedure. I'm going to read you your rights. Then we're going to review the parole violation charge. The state your PO is bringing against you. I will review and identify exhibits filed for the record. You will then have an opportunity to address the issue of probable cause and the severity of the allegations. At the conclusion of the hearing, I will inform you my findings, which are based on the available evidence. Do you have any questions about the purpose or procedure?
No.
What do you guys think he's here for?
Okay, important rights today. Do you like to have an attorney present? Do you want to continue without counsel?
No, I'm all right.
So you want to proceed with the hearing today?
Yes.
Okay. You have a right to receive the written notice charges the violation. Did you receive the written notice?
Yes.
You have a right to view the evidence against you. You have a right to submit evidence in support of your case. At this hearing, you have a right to call and examine voluntary witnesses and cross-examine adverse witnesses. Do you understand these rights and are you ready to move forward?
Yes.
All right, so now I'll review the charge the state your appeal is bringing against you and the information underlying each charge. So charge 1 under lease section GPS. You're charging officer reported on 3/11/23. You did not return home to your parole-approved address and denied permission to be anywhere else. On 10/12/24, you did not return home to your parole-approved address, denied permission to be anywhere else. In addition, you failed to charge GPS as required, resulting in a 5-hour shutdown. Charge 2 is curfew. Your parole officer stated on 3/11/23, you failed to return home by 9 p.m. curfew and failed to return until the following day on 3/12/23. On 10/12/24, you failed to return home by your 9 p.m. curfew. Charge 3, and obey all laws obedience to the law. Your charging officer reported on 3/11/25, you're involved in a domestic incident with your co-worker, ex-girlfriend while at work. Witnesses reported you approached the van where the victim was sitting and you began to yell at her, telling her to get out of the vehicle. When she refused, you reportedly smacked her several times in the head.
What?
You then placed both your hands around the victim's neck, strangling her. You threw her to the floor of the van and grabbed her by the arm, dragging her out of the van to the sidewalk, where you continued to repeatedly hit her in the face and neck with your hands. Subsequently, you arrested and charged breach of peace second, assault third, unlawful restraint first.
That
A remand
escalated
custody
quick.
order was lodged on 3/12/25. You were arraigned at GA 14 and probable cause was established for the next court day of 4/16/25.
wow.
Charge 4 under drugs. Charging officer reported on 8/14/23. You rendered a urine that was positive for cocaine. Peralta results confirm your consumption of cocaine. At no time are you to consume illegal substances. On 9/14/23, you voluntarily admitted to the use of cocaine. You signed a voluntary admission on 9/15/23. On 9/15/23, you rendered a urine that was positive for cocaine. Redwood Toxicology Lab confirms your consumption of cocaine. At no time are you to consume illegal substances. On 10/13/24, you verbally admitted to the use of crack cocaine. On 10/17/24, you signed a voluntary admission. At no time are you to consume illegal substances. On 2/18/25, you voluntarily admitted to the use of crack cocaine.
Damn.
On 2/19/25, you signed a voluntary admission rendered a urine. Mere biopsy results confirm your consumption of cocaine. At no time are you to consume illegal substances. And charge 5 under no consumption of alcoholic beverages. You're charging officer on 3/11/25. Parole staff entered your apartment and you were actively consuming a natural ice alcoholic beverage and verbally admitted to drinking alcohol. At no time are you to consume alcoholic beverages per your conditions of parole. So you're now, the state also filed the following exhibits that are pre-marked for identification purposes as A, PCS conditions of parole, B is remand the actual custody order, C, parole violation notice, D, parole violation report, E, GPS agreement, F, misconducts and supporting evidence of voluntary admissions at night GPS and lab results, G, Hartford police report, case number ending in 5432, and H is photographic evidence. Did you receive notice of parole violation report, and the other documents I marked? Did you review those?
I got everything.
Okay. Do you need to continue this hearing to another date to obtain additional evidence?
No, I just want to say, that police
Well,
report.
I'm going to give you a chance to talk. Don't talk yet. We don't have any witnesses yet. So now is going to be your opportunity to respond to parole violation charges against you. However, remember that you may remain silent if you so choose. So I'm just going to swear you in under oath so you can speak first. So can you just please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or solemnly affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God on penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
All right, go ahead.
All right, the cases of the GPS or the relapses, I'm into everything of that. This domestic thing, I would rather take this to trial because I know all of that is a lie. I did make her fall. It was no slaps. It was no drag out of the truck. It was mad people there. I don't understand. There was so many people there, and I beat her up like that. Why nobody helped her? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to take it, but you know what? I am so tired of this parole that I would sit up there and cop out to anything they want. I just want my parole thrown out so I can go down south. I am so tired of this parole stuff, man. You know, but you know, I admit to everything since I've been on here and stuff, and I'm not going to admit to that. I'm not going to admit to it at all. She didn't even press charges. They don't even believe her. But the thing is that, you know, my case that I'm on with my parole and stuff, you know, I have bad judgment of relationships, you know, getting the people I put in my relationships. But I'm just tired, man. But I'm not going to cop out to that domestic thing. I'm not going to do that at all. But I'm just so tired of this parole stuff. And I just want to leave, man, get out of Connecticut, man. Just get with my family, man, and just, you know, start over and stuff. But I admit to all this stuff ever since I've been on this the Waldar, you know, and you know, I try to be honest through the whole time and stuff. You know, everything that happened, I went to and told her, you know, but I'm not going to cop out to this. not copping out to that domestic. I did not beat that girl. I was in love with that girl. I did everything for her and everything. But that's up to the court stuff. But I'm just saying like that. But everything else, I admit that. I admit it. Yes, I do. That's all.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your statements.
Yes.
Damn it. He was in love with her. Hey, he has a strange way of showing love, right?
I have a drug problem, That's the only thing I have to do. I have to get somewhere to get some help somewhere, man. I don't know. But other than that, I don't know.
If that's love, if that's the way he showed love, imagine if he didn't love her.
All right. So,
or he's upset. Damn
what
it.
then I'm going to do next is I'm just going to announce my findings. Unless if there's anything else you want to say this time.
No. Good.
Okay. Well, like I said, I do appreciate your statements. So I'm going to announce my findings.
Hey, welcome over from TT. Appreciate you guys.
One, I make a finding of probable cause on GPS based on the evidence and testimony presented in support of the violation, exhibits A, E, and F. On charge 2, curfew, I make a finding of probable cause based on evidence and testimony presented, which is exhibits A, E, and F. On charge 3, obey all laws, obedience to the law, I make a finding of probable cause based on evidence presented in support of the violation, A and G. On charge 4, I make a finding of probable cause, drugs, based on evidence and testimony presented in support of the violation, which is exhibits A and F. And on charge 5, no alcohol consumption, I make a finding based on testimony that was provided. So I do find the act serious enough to warrant revocation. Attorney should be detained, wait for your rec hearing. So I know you were on special parole until April 27. So what's going to happen is we'll bring you back after those charges are disposed. And then we'll determine if there's a violation moving forward after those charges are disposed of. Do you know when your next court date is?
The 16th of April.
Okay, so I'm going to be notified whenever this. I know that you might choose to fight this, or so that's whatever happens with that. Whenever that's done, then I'll see you again. Okay. Yeah. All right, so you're all set. Sorry, wish you best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, hey, I went ahead and flipped my screen around there. Hopefully that's better for you guys, and thank you guys for jumping on over from TT over to YT. Highly appreciate that. My account got restricted, if you will. We had a good run, but it'd be like that sometimes. Let me go ahead and see what time is it right now. It's 7:03, and let me check out which one the next one starts up. Let me check my schedule over here. The next one starts at 10:15. Right now, it's in New York or Connecticut. It's 10:03. So the next one should be starting up in about 14 minutes, if you will. So just hang in there. And the next one will be starting up shortly. Let me go ahead and read some of these comments over here since I do got you guys over here. Or let me get this other thing going on over here. How is everybody doing today? Well, where's everybody tuning in from? If you guys don't mind sharing, and how did you guys come across this page, if you will? Somebody was asking me, what's the point of this? I mean, it's whatever you get out of it. I think these board of parole hearings, I find them interesting. Let me see: Jersey, Minnesota, Oklahoma, Indiana, Fresno, Seattle, Arizona, New Jersey, Detroit, Florida. So do I. Michigan, Nueva York, Rhode Island, Wisconsin, Victoria, UK, Illinois, Fort Worth, Texas. You came across my FYP 2 weeks ago. Connecticut, Maryland, Michigan, Alabama, Charlotte. Let's see, what do we got over here? We got Indianapolis, Indiana, Chicago, California, Antarctica. Yeah, we love it. It's the point. Don't see this kind of stuff in Scotland, UK. That's right. Represent. Hey, thank you for those hearts. Highly appreciate it. We got Las Vegas in the house. New Orleans. Let's see what we got over here. We got Texas. We got Shannon. She wrote, I found it on my FYP, and I think they're highly interesting, right? We got Adriana coming in from California. We got Illinois, Texas, Wisconsin, Indiana, New Hampshire. We hanging tough. Let me see. Sweden. What? Sweden? Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let me see. Galveston Island, Canada, Texas, Canton, Ohio. Can you do Los Angeles? I wish I could do LA, California. They don't stream their court appearances or board of parole hearings. Man, I wish I did California. That's where I'm from. Born and raised in Los Angeles. I'm not sure if you could tell. I'm not sure if the LA gear is letting you guys know where I'm from. But yeah, I'm born and raised from LA. We got Yorkshire, England, UK. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Let me go ahead and get the chat back on the screen here. Since I had to reset it, it messed everything up. And for those of you that jumped over from TT over to YT, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I do have 2 streams running. I do that a lot when it comes to YT. I do have a lot of streams running in different places throughout the country whenever I can, from your hometown, LA, the 213 area, if you will. Yep. I don't live there anymore, but I lived there for the first 31 years of my life, and I had the opportunity to leave. And to be quite honest with you, I never saw myself leaving LA. That's all I knew, and it was probably one of the hardest decisions I ever made was leaving Los Angeles. But you know what? Now I look at it, and man, it's probably one of the best decisions I ever made. I'd rather not say where I live, Anthony G, but for the time being, my location will remain undisclosed, if you will. You know. Let me see. Let me get the chat going. And what did you represent, bro? Hey, that's the thing. I didn't gangbang. I was from LA, and fortunately for me, I was able to navigate the streets without getting myself involved. I wasn't interested in that, but a lot of my friends did gangbang. That just wasn't my thing. I just don't have the personality for it. You got to be a certain type of individual, to push that. And I just didn't have it. I couldn't cut the mustard, if you will. But I did spend a lot of time on the street. That I did like. I did love the streets, if you will. Let me see. I almost got this. I got 2 streams running. All right, and I do have 2 streams running on YT for Connecticut. I got one that you could hear me, and then I have another one that you can't hear me. Most of you that came over from TT, you guys came on the vertical one that does have the stream hat. Have you been? I've never been to prison. I did everything but prison. I did everything but prison in YA. So I do have some type of experience. But man, it's been a long time. That was in another lifetime for me. The last time I've been anywhere was back in 2000, 2001, 2002. So it's been over 23 years at this point. Let me see. I know where you live. It's on my envelope from. Yeah, you do. Yeah. I know you guys know. For those of you guys that I mailed out stickers, you guys know where I reside at. But yeah, you guys could tell I never speak about where I live. Let me see. Jail is enough. Forget prison. Hell yeah. Hey, I figured it out on the 4th time that it wasn't for me. I just didn't like it. You know what? Like having to listen to the next person, it just wasn't for me. And then I have commitment issues, so that makes it even harder. Let me see. He doesn't want to say he's actually right. Imagine that, right? Let me see. Yay. You're on. Yep. Yeah, I haven't been on for a few days. With work commitments and then, my life and whatnot. I haven't had time to jump on, but today I do have some time to dedicate to you guys. So we're going to be on for at least a few hours. I'm going to be on at least for another 50 minutes. I got to take a little break, but then I'll be back. This will not affect the YT streams. It'll only affect the TT stream. So if you want to go ahead and continue watching, I would suggest for you guys to jump over when I cut it off over to at CollectCallFrom on YT, if you will. It will not affect this stream over here on this side. So it is only going to affect the TT, but then I'll be back. I shouldn't be gone more than 20 minutes. So once I get back, we'll go ahead and get it going. You can buy anything but your time back. You lost. Yeah, straight up. You're not lying right there. Yeah, that's one of the, those one of those things that it's I value those 2 things that I value that are high on my list would be my freedom and my health. Because without that, man, without good health, it's rough. It's rough. And then being incarcerated, you got to listen to the next individual, and you got to deal with a lot of stuff that's not cool. Let me see. Notice you were MIA for a few days. I stream your live while I work. Days are much. Hey, so you know what? So hey, so for those of you guys that are on TT, even though I don't stream on TT, I stream every day religiously on YT. Even if I don't participate in the streams, I'm always streaming. We do have a following, about 30 to 40 individuals that jump on daily on the court appearances. I still on the weekends for sure. I run Dade County and Maricopa and Pima. Monday through Thursday, I'm running everything. Connecticut, Utah. Well, Utah not really anymore because they messed that one up. But everything else is fair game, and it is going to be coming up. Let me see. It ain't the same without you. I know it's not. But I do get on the chat. I be dropping some comments in the chat, so you got that. But this week, let me see. This week, what are we on? Today's Monday, so I think I'm off for a few days. So you guys are gonna get a good chunk of my time this week. So definitely be on the lookout. My restrictions on TT are actually coming off. I think today my restrictions are coming off. They restricted my account something ugly. I'm not sure why, but they've been restricting me. Dang, bro, how many hours you sleep? So it all depends, Michael. It all depends. My work schedule has been kind of wonky and whatnot, and then doing the streams, it messes everything up. Like yesterday, let me see, what was it on Sunday? At Sunday, I think I got home like at 4 a.m. and then I set up a stream for 5 a.m. and then it messes my sleep up doing these streams. I gotta constantly be waking up in the mornings. I wake up at 5:45, then I gotta wake up again at 7:45, then I gotta wake up at 8:45. So it messes up my REM. If you what's your the YT name is the same thing as this one. It's at CollectCallFrom. It's also on my profile. You go to my profile, everything's on there. All my social media links are located on there, and all the names for all the accounts is all the same. It's always going to be at CollectCallFrom. Thanks for the sacrifice. Yeah, it's a bit of my wife is kind of she trips out on me. She's always telling me, she was like, you know what? I've never seen you have any dedication to anything like the way you do have, for these streams and whatnot. She's always telling me that she sees that I enjoy them, and I do. I truly do, enjoy, jumping on here and interacting with you guys. It gives me something else to do, for my ordinary life, my work life or my home life. And I think it's important to share these streams with individuals, especially if you have somebody that's incarcerated. A lot of things happen in these border parole hearings that we don't know about, or even initial appearances. We're clueless and we don't understand the language. So hopefully, with this, we're able to understand it a little bit better. Let me see. I give you a follow on YT, bro. Thank you. Hey, thank you. Highly appreciated. Yeah. TT has definitely been tripping, if you will. Let me see. Did I get the chat? Did I get all the chats going over here? Let me see. Okay, let me get the chat on the screen. But yeah, doing these streams and whatnot is definitely not easy, especially like yesterday or when I go out. Sometimes we travel and stuff, and I'm still trying to run these streams while I'm out and about. So it's definitely been a learning curve, having these streams going. Did I miss any? You missed. So far, there's already been 3 border parole hearings, and we did Maricopa County at the 5 a.m. one. So up next, we do. Let me see for today. Let me check what's on the schedule here. So for today, we have. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 more individuals coming to the border parole hearings over here in Connecticut. And let me see. Michael writes, definitely makes me want to stay out the. Hell yeah. Hey, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that commitment because you're talking about years, and I have commitment issues, so that would have not worked out for me. At the county level, that was good enough for me. I got my feet wet, and what I saw I didn't like, so I knew it wasn't for me. Went to the next one. The next one should be in about if they're keeping to their schedule, the next one should be starting in about a minute. According to the schedule I'm looking at here or the agenda, it looks like the next one should be starting at 10:15 a.m. I'm on the east. I'm on the West Coast, but on the West Coast or on the East Coast, it's 10:15. It's about to be 10:15. So hopefully they're on track and they start the next one shortly. Let them about. I'm about to spark one. Hey, do the damn thing. Do the damn thing. The next individual that's going to be coming up, it's going to be first name is going to be Christopher. Last name is going to be, I think it's IICHERT. I couldn't pronounce that one, so I wasn't even gonna try to read it. Let me see here. Let me see here. Let me see. All right. So I got multiple chats going on. I got 4 different chats. So
Good morning.
there it is.
How are you? Good morning. Good.
Mr. Maldonado,
Yes, is Ilchard there?
do you want him at the same time or?
No, I
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna continue his case. I just wanted him to come in so I can talk to him and continue his case.
Oh, okay. He's not in right now. I'll let him go first, but I have to grab him in the unit.
Oh, he's still in the unit?
Yeah.
All right, so I got something from his attorney, so he doesn't need to be present. So I'm just gonna continue on the record without him, so he doesn't need to come down.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So for me, my local time is right here.
Maldonado, I'm just gonna do that continuance I just stated on the record. So this does not pertain to you, okay?
Okay.
For me, that's my local time over there. It's 7:16 a.m. in the morning. But where these hearings are taking place, it's 10:16.
Okay. Thank you.
Let me see. I forgot to put my stickers up on the screen here. Let me put my screen here. You're a grinder for reals. I try. It's not easy, but I definitely do put a lot of energy into doing this. All socials. And did anybody catch the live I did yesterday with Silas Johnson and Ray Jennings? That was a little bit different than what we normally do. So CollectCallFrom. Let's see. I got it. Yep. Here we go. Yes, I did. What did you think about it? For those of you that caught it yesterday, what did you do? Have you guys ever heard of Ray Jennings prior to this from Dateline? I'm curious. I did. Before I met him, I did catch his Dateline episode, and I saw it years ago. So when the opportunity came up to interview him, and I still haven't really. I did an in-person interview back in February that I need to release. I briefly did. So I'll be releasing that shortly.
Regarding inmate Christopher Ilchard, number 424-677, there's going to be continuance granted at the request of the offender's attorney. He will be heard for his revocation hearing on April 8th, 2025. All right, Mr. Maldonado, we're here for your revocation hearing, so we're going to get started with that, okay?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Maldonado, I guess they skipped.
Good morning, I'm Theo Meissner, hearing examiner for the Board of Pardons and Paroles revocation hearing concerning Maldonado Jacob, number 399372. Today is March 31st, 2025. This hearing is being conducted via video at the BOPP Central Office in Bridgeport Correctional Center. This is a public hearing. Public access to this hearing is available via video live stream. Can you please state your full name and DOC inmate number for the record?
Jacob Maldonado, 399372.
You have counsel here today. Please identify yourself.
Good morning, Hannah Dean for the record on behalf of Mr. Maldonado.
This is a revocation hearing to determine whether you have violated the conditions of your release. I will review and make findings of fact as to each of the charges against you. The state, not you, has responsibility to prove the allegations by a preponderance of evidence, that is, the better reader evidence must establish that more probable than not the allegation is true. If I do not find that there is a preponderance of evidence to support a violation of one or more conditions of your parole, I will reinstate your parole, which is releasing and place you back on parole supervision. If I find that you have violated one or more conditions of your parole, I will consider whether or not your parole should be revoked. If I recommend revocation, I'll make a recommendation as to appropriate sanction. My recommendation will be given to a panel for a final decision. If the panel wishes to impose a sanction beyond my recommendation, a supplemental hearing would be provided to justify additional confinement. So this is the procedure for today. I'm going to read you your rights. Then we're going to review the parole violation charge, state your PO is bringing against you. I will review and identify exhibits filed for the record. Counsel will then have an opportunity to present our relevant testimony. After considering all the evidence presented, I will announce my findings. If I find that you have violated one or more conditions of your parole, counsel will have an opportunity to speak to your background and history. Do you have any questions about the purpose or procedure?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you have important rights today. Right to have an attorney present. You have counsel here. You have right to receive the written notice charges of violation. Did you receive the written notice?
Yes.
You have a right to view the evidence against you. You have a right to submit evidence supporting your case. At this hearing, you have a right to call and examine voluntary witnesses and cross-examine adverse witnesses. Do you understand these rights and are you ready to move forward?
Yes, I do.
All right, so now review the charge. State your appeal is bringing against you and the information underlying each charge. Charge 1 under absconder. You're charging officer report on 7/2/23. You signed out of the Bishop Halfway House. Your only parole approved PCS residence at 12 p.m. to attend religious services at Church Street, Waterbury. You were expected to return at 3 p.m. and failed to do so. Staff attempted to contact you on your cell phone, at which time you answered the phone, remained quiet, and then disconnected the call. Staff attempted to call your cell phone again and were unsuccessful as it went straight to voicemail. Local hospitals and jails were contacted. You were not found admitted to either. You have failed to contact Bishop House, Halfway House, or your PO, leaving your whereabouts unknown in the community. Charge 2 under obey all laws of the law. You're charging officer report 8/13/24. You're arrested and charged with fleeing or attempting to elude an officer, flight to avoid apprehension, driving while under the influence, driving without insurance, careless driving, driving at safe speeds, driving without a license, and required rear lighting. These charges occurred while driving a vehicle out of state. Charge 3 under travel. You're charging off support at 8/13/24. You're apprehended in the state of Pennsylvania on 2/10/25. You signed a waiver extradition in the court of common pleas of Schuylkill County, PA. You did not have permission to leave the state. Clear violation of your conditions. In the state, follow the following exhibits that are pre-marked for identification purposes as Exhibit A, PCS conditions, B, parole violation notice and parole violation report, Exhibit C, Bishop House incident report, D, Bishop House discharge report, E, remand of custody order, and F is parolee rights, G is Pottsville Bureau of Police report, and H is signed waiver extradition. Did you receive notice of parole violation report, and those other documents I marked, and did you review those?
Yes, I did.
And I will put on the record, I did receive an addendum from PCS, and the addendum reported at 8/4/23, the BOPP did issue an absconder warrant for the offender, and it is noted that you were found guilty in Pennsylvania of fleeing, and which you received a 6 to 23 months sentence for incarceration, and for the DUI, which you also received the conviction to 3 to 6 months sentence for that. And counsel has filed the following exhibit as pre-marked for identification purposes. Defense Exhibit 1, list of parole accomplishments and future plans for parole reinstatement. Do you need to continue to contain any additional evidence?
No, I don't.
Okay, we have no witnesses today. Is now defense's opportunity if you'd like to speak to any of the evidence submitted?
Yes,
Claudia
thank
wrote,
you.
damn, longer than the CVS receipt.
But I just had some global remarks I wanted to make about the charges. This was an unfortunate situation. I spoke with my client at length about this. He reports that while in the halfway house, he learned that his parents were both experiencing some significant medical issues, specifically his mom, who resides out of state in PA, was very sick. His dad was also struggling. And unfortunately, my client did try and go through the proper process, but was told that he was unable to leave because his family was out of state. I will note, however, that the addendum is accurate. My client did complete that sentence in PA. No more time to serve is required there, so that is finished. And in that case, the allegations were that once apprehended, he was compliant with the police. I would also note that he was compliant being served with this parole remand and willingly waived extradition to come back here. So I would just like to make those remarks, and at the appropriate time, I would like to talk about his background and history. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, so what I'm going to do next, I'm going to announce my findings. So regarding charge 1, I do find you violated the condition and release section of absconder based on a warrant being issued by the BOPP and evidence that was provided in support of the charge, which exhibits A, B, C, and D. On charge 2, I find you violate condition obey all laws will be to the law based on your conviction of fleeing and received a sentence of 6 to 23 months, and DUI received a sentence of 3 to 6 months with all our charges not processed. Also based on exhibits A, B, and G. On charge 3, I do find you violate condition travel based on the evidence provided in support of the charge, which is exhibits A, G, and H. That includes the fact-finding portion of this hearing. Before we make a recommendation, the council will have an opportunity to speak to your background and history. This purpose part of the hearing is to help determine what outcome I will recommend. So if you would like to at this time.
Yes, thank you very much. My client, Mr. Maldonado, is 34 years old, born in the state of New Jersey. He was raised there and then also in Meriden, Connecticut. His primary source of support is his family. His mom resides in Pennsylvania. His father, 3 sisters, and 4 brothers reside between New Jersey, Massachusetts, and PA. My client's mother is in very poor health. He has 3 sons as well, ages 16, 15, and 13, all of whom reside in Massachusetts. Upon release to special parole in January 23, my client first utilized the sponsor, who was his sister in New Britain. He then was at the Chrysalis Center Scattered Site Program in Meriden until June 2023. And then from June to July was in Bishop House. My client was full-time, previously a Precision Landscaping in Meriden. He's worked for that company on and off for a number of years. He also was full-time for Official Asphalt out of New York and was in that position for approximately a year and a half. He reports that he recently underwent surgery in January 2025 as a result of an accident. He is supposed to be participating in physical therapy, though unfortunately they don't have him doing that currently at the facility. My client has not received any disciplinary tickets whatsoever since his remand to custody. Upon reinstatement of special parole, he would like to return to PA and be sponsored by his mom, Ariana, at an address in Port Carbon, PA. I did explain that process takes approximately 3 months of doing well in the community before getting the paperwork started. So, Mr. Maldonado, is there a specific jurisdiction in Connecticut where you would like to have a halfway house? Because it will take a little bit of time for them to process their request. Where is the best area for you for a halfway house?
It doesn't matter wherever you put me.
Well, Hartford, Waterbury, New Haven, Bridgeport.
It doesn't. It doesn't really
Well, you tell me. You tell me which one you want.
Hartford.
Hartford. Okay. He also is hoping once he's reinstated to go back to the asphalt industry. He one day wants to start his own business in that industry as well. He's very eager to be present for his children. He wants to rebuild those relationships, move further forward as a family together. He's open to any sort of treatment recommended, including completing Explore. He also is looking forward, as I said before, to beginning physical therapy to address those health concerns. I would argue that the sanction for my client should not exceed 6 months. He has effectively already served 7.5 months, as he's been incarcerated since August 13, 2024 for the conduct that's currently the subject of this remand. As I noted, once he was apprehended, he was completely compliant. He willingly waived extradition to come back to Connecticut and handle this situation. I would ask that you consider that amount of time that he was incarcerated in PA and making a recommendation. As I said, he has been incarcerated there since August. Even if you were not inclined to honor the amount of time he was in PA, I would ask that at the very least he receive credit from the time in which he waived extradition. That's when he was brought back here to Connecticut. So that was on 2/10/25.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'll be right with you with the recommendation.
They never let them go. I don't think that I've ever heard of one of these revocation hearings where they actually let somebody go. They give them some time. I don't care if it's 10 days,
So
a few months.
I've listened to testimony today, and I have reviewed all the evidence provided by the state. I do want to put on the record, you were in the community for about 5 months. Well, you were in the community for 5 months and 10 days before you absconded from supervision. You absconded for approximately a year and 1.5 months and went to another state without permission. This is the second time that you have absconded and returned with new criminal charges. A 6-month sanction was given last time, as I can see from our records. So again, you've returned with new charges after serving time in Pennsylvania. Your officer recommended a 9-month sanction minimum. Based on the information I have, I am going to recommend that parole be revoked and that you be reparoled for October 26, 2025. This is about an approximate 8-month period of confinement as a sanction since your return to Connecticut custody. I will note the offender was in custody in PA on 8/13/24, which is approximately 1 year and 3.5 months. I recommend the following parole conditions: halfway house placement, no consumption of alcoholic beverages, operation of motor vehicle, behavior management program for domestic violence, no contact with your victim JF and CM. My findings are going to the parole board on April 10th. The board's going to review this. The board has the options to let you out earlier, so they can let you out as soon as 4/10. That's the earliest date. They can agree with my sanction of 10/26, or they can revoke all special parole or do a later time if they would like. You are on special parole to October of 26. I understand you do want to go back to Pennsylvania, but you have to wait for the process. So you could do it the right way and get off special parole, or else we're going to stay in this process of you violating coming back if you don't do it the right way. So you do understand that. I understand you probably want to be in Pennsylvania to be with your family. So I hope that you can follow the process and so we can get you out there after you show you're in compliance. Okay? You have a question?
So, Mr. Maldonado, if you would like to call me on April 10th or the following day, the 11th, I can update you on what the board decides, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. I'll talk to you
Thank you.
then.
All right,
You're all
thank you.
set. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
He's a runner, so he absconded. He absconded. He was on parole. He checked in for a few months, and then after that, he was gone like the wind. He was out in Pennsylvania. He picked up a new case, and he did some time out there, and now he's back in Connecticut on a parole violation. That kind of it kind of sucks, you know, when you're from one place and you want to live in another place, or vice versa. But it'd be like that. I mean, you're not gonna be able to make your own rules if you don't follow the rules and get off, you know, parole. And you're gonna keep on dealing with issues like this. Let me see, if you will, right, Lord. Let me see. So he got denied for the time being. Yeah, he knew he wasn't gonna go anywhere. Yup. And if you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free 99. Doesn't cost you anything. Don't be a Mr. Krabby Patty. Don't be a Scrooge McDuck. If you were a kid, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that DuckTales, if you will. Let me see. At least he kept it cool. Hey, that first guy, Mr. Clean, that wasn't a good one. I'm surprised. I was expecting that guy to lose it for sure, but he didn't. He didn't lose it. I would have put money on him that he would have definitely lost it. But he did. And how is everybody doing today? And just to give you a heads up, I'm gonna be on maybe like another on TT. I'm gonna be on for another about maybe like 10 minutes or so. I'm gonna step on maybe for about 20-30 minutes, and then I'll be back. If you want to go ahead and continue watching, I would suggest for you to jump on over to the other platform. I'm doing good, but I'm doing pretty good, Kirsten. Hell yeah. So yeah, if you want to continue watching during the time that I am away, I would suggest jumping on over to @CollectCallFrom on YT. If you can also go to my profile. The other information for the links is on there, and then I'll be back. YT, you know that other platform, the one that with the red icon and the white triangle, if you will. I don't want to say it because I heard it's definitely frowned upon. So, you know, TT is one platform, YT is the other one, if you will. There it is, Claudia. You said it. I didn't. So yeah. There's that. Let me see over here. Let me see if there's any comments over here. Let me check who's coming up next. Who's coming up next? Next individual should be coming up. That was Jacob. The next one, what time is it right now? So there. Okay, so the next hearing is not gonna start for another about 12 minutes according to the schedule. The next individual should be last name is gonna be Crawford. First name is gonna be Romel Crawford. Never heard of a Romel. We got you, bro. Tube, yup. So yeah, so another 12 minutes. So I probably won't be. Damn! This behavior is not in line with our policies and may result in gifting suspension. Reason? Nah, man. I'm gonna have to go ahead and I'm gonna cut the smaller account right, or the bigger account, because they're tripping. Like I said, I'll be back. I'm gonna shut it down for a bit. And if you're still hearing me, then you're good. That doesn't apply to you. I had to cut the other account, the other TT account. They were tripping. They are tripping today. All right. So yeah. So like I said, the next hearing should be in about 11 minutes or so. We just gotta wait it out here. And let me see. The next court's about to start up in about 25 minutes, and that would be Maricopa County. So I gotta get that stream going. For the individuals that like to watch that stream, they're like, damn, James, how many streams do you got going on at the same time? Sometimes, sometimes I'll have 4 or 5 different streams going on at the same time for different courts. How do you do it, James? I don't know, man. I ask myself that all the time. How the hell do I keep up with all this stuff? I just do, like Nike. You just do it. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, it is, man. It's, I'm like a freaking octopus over here. Let's see, what am I looking for here? I'm always doing something, whether I'm looking at the screen or not. I gotta set up other things in the background. So I'm not ignoring you guys. I just gotta I like how you put both chats up. Oh yeah. No, I put all the chats up. Yeah, I combine everything. So, and that's why I put it up on the screen too. I might be getting a call today from prison, so we might be doing some video visits. So if any of you any of you guys like those video visits, we might be having some coming today, live and direct from Sentinel State Prison. If you don't, then you can jump over to one of the other streams if you will. Okay, so that one's fixed up. All right. Let me see. Yes, where do I go to see it? So those I'm gonna run them on TT. So it'll be here. It'll be here. It'll either be on the big channel. It'll be on both channels. It'll be on all channels. It'll be on all the streams. So don't you worry. Just make sure you got the notification set up. Hey, you're welcome, Queen Mary. No, thank you. And like once again, and I want to say this, and I can't say this enough. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I know when it comes to social media, there's millions of people out there, doing their thing. So it's definitely an honor that you guys do spend this time with me here. Ramel, Ruggs, and Pew Pew. Okay, thank you, Carrie, for checking that. Carrie G __ OG Canada flag, if you will. But yeah, no, I do appreciate you guys. I know you guys have numerous options at your fingertips. You guys could just scroll up and you guys will be looking at somebody else. So I do recognize that your time is important. And I want to go ahead and thank you guys for that. And the way, if you guys want to help me and support me, I don't ask for gifts. That's not my thing as far as why I do this. Well, at least not from you guys, but I am looking for that from TT and YT. But if you guys do want to support me, you guys could help me by whenever I post up videos. If you guys could go ahead and drop some comments, like leave me like comments, at least like 4 or 5 words, to at least get us into the algorithm and get some chat or interactions going, reposting my videos, reposting the streams whenever I'm live. That's how you guys could help me out or support me. That's probably like the biggest way that you guys could support me by doing that. On the smaller account, which you guys are on right now, we're about to be hitting 10,000 subscribers. So I am going to be able to become part of the creator program, which I definitely been looking forward to that. So like I said, yeah, if you want to support me, that's how you could definitely support me by doing that, if you will. So I think we're like about 400 people short of hitting that 10,000 followers. I think on the views, we're about to be hitting whatever views we need to. So I'm hoping a day or two away, before we reach that here on the smaller channel. Anyhow, let's see. So we got about another 7 minutes before the stream before the next stream starts. But I'm probably not gonna be here. I'm probably only gonna be here for another 2 minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna step out for a bit, but then I'll be back. If you guys do want to continue watching these hearings, just jump on over to YT. I do have numerous streams. If you do jump on YT, you'll probably see 4 different streams. For the Connecticut, I'm gonna have 2 streams. I'm gonna have one that you could hear me when I come back, it's kind of like set up like the YT one or the TT one. And then I also got one it's a really nice setup. You get the full screen, but you can't hear me. So depending on what you do, I know some people like hearing me. I know some people don't like hearing me. So that's why I got 2 different streams running, for your viewing pleasure. I know sometimes some people might get overwhelmed with my commenting or whatnot. So hey, I cater to both groups, if you will. Hey Leonard, thank you for the follow. Highly appreciate that. Let me see. Where's the link to hear you? So the link to hear me would be the vertical. So you wanna hit on the one that says vertical Connecticut Board of Parole hearing. That's the one that you wanna hit on. The one that doesn't say vertical is the one that you cannot hear me or see me, if you will. So yeah, so I know there's a lot of the times that'll happen. People will jump over and they'll come over and they'll go over to YT and then they'll come back. They're like, hey, the stream is different. And I forget to tell everybody that I got numerous streams going on. That's why you can't find me. You got to make sure you hit the correct stream. So the one you're watching right now is Connecticut, so you could hear me, and then the vertical one. Hey, what up? Young? How's it going? Let me see. Destiny, I like it when we hear you and your comments. Yeah, so yeah. You know what? And the reason I run 2 different streams with comments and without is because later on, sometimes, people will watch the streams and then they'll drop comments talking about that they don't like the comments or whatever, or they don't like my commentary. So I'm like, cool, I like that I'm able to, get to two demographics, if you will, the people that do like to hear me and the people that don't. Is this the right one? If you could hear me, then it's the right one. Kirsten. If you can't hear me, then it's the wrong one. Can you hear me? You could hear me. Hey, Destiny, how are you? Yeah. So you're on the right one, I believe. So right now, they should be starting in about another 4 minutes. The next one should be starting on in the next 4 minutes. All right, I can hear you. G, writes Renee B_6. Gracias, Renee. So just to give you a heads up, like I said, like I've been mentioning for a little while now, on TT, I'm gonna cut it. I gotta cut the stream for a bit. I gotta step out of my house, but I will be back. If you guys do want to continue watching, I would highly recommend for you guys to jump over to YT at CollectCallFrom and hit the vertical stream, or just come back whenever I come back, and it'll be about maybe like 20-30 minutes that I gotta be out for. So I'm gonna go ahead and step out of the house to make sure I'm ready to walk out the house when I'm ready. Anyhow, hey, I do appreciate you guys. I am Collect Call James. You are watching. You have a Collect Call From, and with that, I'm out. But I'll be back shortly. All right, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
Is it Mr. Crawford?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, P.O. Barnick.
Good morning.
So I'll just go on there. Good morning, I'm P.O. Meister, a hearing examiner for the Board of Partisan Paroles. This is a preliminary hearing starting Crawford Romel 435-394, and today is March 31st, 2025. This hearing is being conducted via video at the BOP Central Office, McDougal Correctional Institution. This is a public hearing, and public access hearing is available via video live stream. Can you please state your full name and DOC inmate number for the record, sir?
Romel Crawford 435-394.
We have a PO present. Please identify yourself.
P.O. Bartnick, Butterberry District.
And we have counsel here today.
Yes, good morning. Hannah Dean on behalf of Mr. Crawford. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, so at this time, I did get a chance to speak with my client this morning, and at this time, we would like to waive the preliminary hearing for this matter and go forward once his case is resolved in criminal court with the revocation hearing.
Okay, so I'm going to accept that request, and so we will waive the preliminary hearing today. So Mr. Crawford, you will come back once your charges have been disposed. Then we'll have your revocation hearing and determine if there's a violation or not. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so we are all set for today then.
All right. Thank you very much. I'll be in touch with you and your partner, Mr. Crawford.
All right, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Oh, done already?
Yeah, where is it?
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. I am back. Let's see. Did anything take place yet, or were we still waiting? Let me see here. Let me see what time it is right now. So right now it is what is it? It's 11 right now in Connecticut. So next one should be starting up next. Let me see here. Just fine court settings up. Okay. Fine. Let me see here. Did Crawford come on? Did Romel Crawford come on? He should have came on at 15 minutes ago. Then we have next coming up is going to be Eric Green. Let me see. And while we're waiting right now, okay. So I'll go ahead and set up. Let me go ahead and set up TT right now to get my heads up. There we go. Okay, one is up. Let's hit up the second one. There we go. All right, all right. Flip this along here. All right, all right. Hey, are you back? I just turned it back on right now as I read your message. So I've been on for about 10 seconds now. Crawford Wave meetings. Okay, thank you, Carrie G, for letting me know. Yeah, I wasn't on right now. I wasn't listening in on the background. I just walked in. So we have 3 more individuals. So they should be going on for at least I'm hoping at least an hour. Here we'll be here, and then let me see at 10 o'clock at 9 p.m. not 9 p.m. 9 a.m. we got Pima County that's starting up. So I gotta go. Let me put my alarm before I forget. If not, then I'll forget to put it up. Let me put my alarm for an hour just to remind me. Hey, thank you, Macker. This is that Macker 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, we're back.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Green.
Green, yeah.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, we're here today for your preliminary hearing.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get started. Good morning, I am P.O. Meisinger, a hearing examiner for the Board of Pardons and Paroles. It's a preliminary hearing concerning Green Eric, number 331660. Today is March 31st, 2025. This hearing is being conducted via video at the BOPP Central Office in Hartford Correctional Center. This is a public hearing, and public access to this hearing is available via video live stream. Can you please state your full name and DOC inmate number for the record?
Yes, Eric Tyron Green, inmate number 331660.
This is a preliminary hearing, which the purpose under Connecticut law is to determine if there is probable cause to believe you commit an act that violated the conditions of your parole, determine if the act is sufficiently serious to warrant revocation of your parole, and to determine if you should be held in prison pending further proceedings. The state, not you, has responsibility to show that there is probable cause to believe you violated one or more conditions of your parole. If I do not find probable cause, I'll reinstate your parole. We can release you and place you back on parole supervision. If I find probable cause and determine the act is sufficiently serious to warrant revocation, you may be held in prison pending further proceedings. You should know a preliminary hearing is an adversarial proceeding. Anything you say at this hearing can be used against you. This hearing is being recorded. So this is the procedure. I'm going to read you your rights. Then we're going to review the parole violation charge that the state your parole officer is bringing against you. I will review and identify exhibits filed for the record. You will then have an opportunity to address the issue of probable cause and the severity of the allegations. At the conclusion of the hearing, I will inform you my findings, which are based on the available evidence. Do you have any questions about the purpose or procedure?
Thus far, no.
Okay. You have important rights today. Your right to have an attorney present. Do you want to proceed without an attorney?
Yes.
You have the right to receive the written notice of charges of violation. Did you receive the written notice?
Yes, I did receive the written notice. I have.
Okay. You have a right to review the evidence against you. You have a right to submit evidence in support of your case at this hearing. You have a right to call and examine voluntary witnesses or cross-examine adverse witnesses. Do you understand these rights, and are you ready to go forward?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so we'll now review the charge the state your appeal is bringing against you and the information underlying each charge. So on charge 1, under restructuring program participation, you're charging officer reported on 3/6/25. You failed to report CRT Behavioral Health Services for your CBT group. CRT Behavioral Science staff advised PO you failed to notify the program that you would not be attending group. On charge 2, under obey all laws, obedience to the law, you're charging officer reported on 3/13/25. You engaged in a violent encounter with your parole officer when parole attempted to remand you into custody by attempting to flee the scene and causing parole to have a physically intervene and arrest you. The search, you're charging officer reported 3/13/25. Your parole officer instructed you to comply with a path search at the entrance of your apartment building. You failed to comply with this officer and other officers' direct orders to keep your hands on the wall during the path search. You also failed to allow the officer who was conducting the path search to search your pocket by blocking the officer from searching your right front pocket. And the state has filed the following exhibits that are pre-marked for identification purposes as Exhibit A, Connecticut Conditions of Parole. B, Connecticut Board of Parole Remand to Actual Custody Order. C, Notice of Parole Violation, Notice of Parole Rights. D, Parole Violation Report. And E is CRT BHS Attendance Email. Did you receive Notice of Parole Violation Report, and those other documents I marked? And did you review those?
Yes, I would like to dispute one of those, please, if I could.
I'm going to give you an opportunity in 1 minute, okay?
Okay.
So do you need to continue this hearing to obtain any additional evidence?
No.
Okay. So now is your opportunity to respond to the parole violation charges against you. However, remember that you may remain silent if you so choose. So I'm going to swear you in under oath so you can speak today. So can you please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or solemnly affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give during this case should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, without penalty of perjury?
Yes.
I do.
All right, so go ahead, sir.
The first statute I would like to dispute with the.
Do you mean charge, or do you mean
not attending the group? That Thursday I was with Delicia what is her name, Phillips, and throughout the whole day it was pretty much a whole day ordeal just getting me transitioned from the Cheney House to Ashley Street. And Delicia Phillips knew about that, and she pretty much excused me for that day to be excused, because I still had to go to work after we did what we did to get into the apartment that day. So that's the only dispute I had.
Okay.
What do you guys
think? Do you want to say anything in regards to the other charges or no?
With the other charges, you know, I just did 8 years in prison. As you know, it's on file. I suffer from PTSD, which is on file.
We all suffer from PTSD.
I also have a medical marijuana card that is also on file, and I'm not no professional at this, but I believe that's what kind of threw me off that day, because there was no reason for me to react the way I did when the officers approached me and asked me for a regular pat down. There was absolutely no reason for me to act upon the way I did that day.
It's all on file, Nicole. He said it. I didn't. Damn, he did 8 years. No, I could definitely see him having PTSD after 8 years in prison. That's definitely not a small chunk of change.
Anything else you want to say before I announce my findings?
Yes, I knew I was doing the right thing. I was working every day. Just a week before the incident, I had took my kids out to Dave and Buster's. We had a great time. I'm just eager just to get back into community and just to work on myself, work on that PTSD, and to continue being a good father towards my children, and just continue on with my life, I would say.
Okay. All right, so I'll be right with you with my findings, okay?
Okay.
Take your time. Take your time, Your Honor. I think this one's gonna be a short one. It's not gonna be that first one today in the morning. That one was a little bit intense. That dude was moving his arms, his arm movements, and the way he was speaking, he was saying it with his chest. Is David and Buster is in his file? Let me see. That was a good one to say, if you will. I'd rather be a woman in prison than a male. Hey, straight up. Well, I don't know. You know what? Hey, women, that's a whole different kind of worms right there that you got to deal with in a women's prison. Not that I've been to a male prison or a women's prison. I wouldn't know, but I'm just saying. I live with my wife.
All right, so I'm going to announce my findings.
It's wild.
So on charge 1, condition least direction program participation and making no finding of probable cause based on the charge not meeting the elements. You missed only one group. On charge 2, in testimony also, you did state that was excused. On charge 2, I do make a finding of probable cause on obedience to the law based on the evidence presented in support of the violation, exhibits A and D. And I make a finding of probable cause on charge 3, search based on evidence and testimony presented in support of the violation, exhibits A and D. I determined the act is serious enough to warrant revocation. I determined should be detained while you wait for your rev hearing. So what I'm going to do, you don't have pending charges, so you're a technical violation. So I'm going to schedule you to come back for a rev hearing to determine if there's a violation or not. We have 60 business days from your return to custody to schedule that. So I will schedule that very shortly. So I'll see you again, and then we'll determine if there's a violation or not.
Okay. Can I ask you one question, please, Selena, before we end the conversation?
You can ask me a question. Yeah.
Being that if you guys do find me in violation, how long, can you give me a ballpark number of like how long I will have to stay?
It depends on if there's a violation or not. We have to get to that point. I can't give you a guess right now. We'd have to determine what happens at the rev hearing. That's what that's for.
All right, and like I said, I apologize, and I'm really tired of apologizing, because it should have been easy peasy that day. And like I said, I really do think my PTSD kicked in, and I just had a freak out situation. I really freaked out for no absolute reason at all. No reason.
Okay.
No reason.
We can talk about that then. And I'm glad you're taking time to actually think about what happened and maybe different ways you could handle things.
Yeah, I'm taking full responsibility for what I did, because I know it could have easily went the other way, and we won't be here talking right now. But
exactly.
Due to my circumstances, I'm still working on myself. I was attending Willer Clinic probably once every other week, working on my therapy.
Well, we're gonna talk about all that at your rep hearing. So,
Okay.
because you're done for today, so we'll talk about all that at the next hearing, okay? So I'll send you a notice. We're gonna let you know when to come back, okay?
Okay.
I'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day, sir.
You too.
All right, that was easy. That was an easy one. But
right.
That was an easy one. All right. So we got two more. No, hold on. Is it two more? Yeah, we got two more individuals coming up. The next one should be starting up in about a minute, or it should be starting up right now. So it shouldn't. We shouldn't be waiting around too much longer. What'd he do? So that dude, he did 8 years in prison. I'm not sure that they didn't get into all of that, but apparently he was out. He has some type of PTSD from being in prison, and I guess the cops approached him in some type of manner or fashion. And he reacted in a way that got himself violated, and he's back behind bars, so he has a violation. But he also does have also have a medical card, if you will. Steve writes the Louisiana ones are better. Yeah, I guess. You know what? I haven't set in on too many of the Louisiana ones. I think I've only streamed one or two of them previously, but I might get back into those just because the selection that we have now, it's a little bit smaller now with Utah cutting back on the visuals. They're only streaming the audio, which sucks. But I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose. Treetop, hey, how's it going? Welcome, and anybody that's just tuning in right now, I appreciate you guys tuning in. We got at least 2 more board of parole hearings, and I'm expecting some video calls from prison today, so definitely be on the lookout. Hopefully, at about 9 o'clock, we might be having some video visits coming through. So if they do pop off, we will be doing them. Any PO today? Any PO? PO? No sé. Parole board. Yeah. So we're right now we're in the middle of a parole board hearing right now. We've been doing this since 6 a.m. this morning, so at least a little bit over 2 hours at this point. We've already seen a few individuals, and I think they might be coming back. I think I heard a sound, or maybe was it me? I don't know. Let's see here. Carrie G, love the video visits. So hopefully they're working today. No, the other PO to go home. No sé, I'm not tracking there. I'm not fully comprehending your question or comment. Let me see here. Connections. What the what? Oh snap. All right. So I'm guessing they're a little bit behind right now because my schedule says 11:15, and right now it should be 11:15 in Connecticut. Let me see. He means the hearings that determine if. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, no. These are revocation hearings. So these are people that violated. You're running 2 lives on. Yeah. Oh yes, I am. Let me see the 3 panel. Yeah, no. Today it's not those today. Hopefully tomorrow. To be honest with you, the ones I probably enjoy the most would be the ones where they have the individuals that are the youthful offenders. Those normally are pretty popular with you guys. So, and those they really get into their cases, and if they don't have insight, they're not gonna go home. Let me see over here. The watch me grow person. Yo, James, what up? Hey, what's up, Fish? How's it going? Let me see. Thanks. I was just checking. It was I got 2 streams. They're they're both my accounts. I don't think I've reached the level yet where people are gonna start duplicating my streams, acting like they're me. But if it keeps on going, then it might be a possibility. But at this point, nah, not yet. But I know there's other individuals doing something similar when it comes to these the court hearings. So I've been told, or if you will. I haven't heard nothing about it in about a month or so, but they must be running late. Yeah, they are running late today. But I mean, we're pretty much at their mercy. And it'll probably be a good time right now. If you guys got any questions for me, for you guys to ask any questions, and I'll go ahead and answer them to the best of my ability. You know, normally when we're in the middle of these hearings, it's a little bit difficult for me to answer any questions. So we could go ahead and do that while we wait. What up, Bass? How's it going? Hey, you're looking a little bit sad today. What's going on? Is something wrong? Let me see. What are we watching right now? We're watching me, but hopefully we have these border parole hearings starting up in the next moment or two. Once it does, then I will go ahead and be watching that. I like you doing the hearings. It's interesting, right? And yeah, I enjoy them too. I enjoy them. That's why I do stream them. I find them interesting. You know, just to get an insight of, you know, what makes these people tick, or how did they end up in the situations they're in, or sometimes they're comical. So it provides all kinds of different things for me over here. Let me see. Carrie G writes, there are going on about a ton of stuff, if you will. And thank you, Joanna. Can we all tap, please? Tap. Yeah, we're at 6.7K taps. All right, I heard them. It looks like they need us some motion now.
Sorry. Hi. Good morning.
Okay, we had some issues this morning too, so.
Okay. And I have Paso here for you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Come on in.
All right, come on down to the Price is Wrong.
Yo, Rios, are you there? Good morning, Mr. Huda.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm great.
I think this is
okay. I'm just waiting for your PO to join, and then we'll get started.
There we go. This one might be a good one. What do you guys think? What do you guys think this guy's here for?
Yo, Rios, are you there? If you are, you just have to.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh,
Hi.
perfect.
How are you?
Just making sure. We've had problems with audio today a little bit, so. All right, so we are going to get started.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, we're going to get started. Good morning, I'm Theo Meisinger, hearing examiner for the Board of Pardons and Paroles. This is a preliminary hearing starting Hudo Jeffrey number 361456. Today is March 31st, 2025. This hearing is being conducted via video at the BOPP Central Office in Osborne Correctional Institution. Can you please state your full name and DOC inmate number for the record, sir?
Jeff Huddle, 361456.
Thank you. We have a parole officer present. Can you please identify yourself for the record?
Parole Officer Reyes, New Haven District Office.
Thank you. This is a preliminary hearing, which is the purpose of Connecticut law. It's to determine if there is probable cause to believe you commit an act that violated the conditions of your parole, determine the act sufficiency or to warrant revocation of your parole, and to determine you should be held in prison pending further proceedings. The state, not you, has responsibility to show that there's probable cause to believe you violated one or more conditions of your parole. If I do not find probable cause, I'll reinstate your parole, which is release you and place you back on parole supervision. If I find probable cause and determine the act is sufficiently serious to warrant revocation, you may be held in prison pending further proceedings. Please note you've been referred by the Department of Corrections for diversion for substance abuse programming and treatment. If by the end of the hearing I determine you should be held in prison pending further proceedings, I will provide additional information about the diversion process. You should know a preliminary hearing is an adversarial proceeding. Anything you say at this hearing can be used against you. This hearing is being recorded. So this is the procedure for today. I'm going to read you your rights. Then we're going to review the parole violation charge. The state your PO is bringing against you. I will review and identify exhibits filed for the record. The state will then have an opportunity to just issue a probable cause and the severity of the allegations. After the state is finished, you will have the same opportunity. At the conclusion of the hearing, I will inform you my findings, which are based on the available evidence. Do you have any questions about the purpose or procedure before we begin, sir?
No.
Okay. Important rights today, the right to have an attorney present. Would you like to go forward without an attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
right, you have a right to receive the written notice charged with the violation. Did you receive the written notice?
Yes, I did.
You have a right to review the evidence against you. You have a right to submit evidence in support of your case. At the hearing, you have a right to call and examine voluntary witnesses and cross-examine adverse witnesses. Do you understand these rights, and are you ready to move forward?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so now review the charge that the state, your parole officer is bringing against you, and the information underlying each charge. P.O. Rios, please read the charges.
Charge 1, program participation. On January 14th, you were referred to MCCA for outpatient treatment. MCCA recommended that you attend treatment 3 times a week. You did not attend treatment 3 times a week as recommended by your treatment provider. This violates your special parole condition that states I will be assigned to one of several levels of community supervision and agree to participate in programs as determined by parole officer. On 12/3/2024, you allowed an unauthorized female and her dog to reside in Reach's DOC scatter site reentry assisted community housing REACH program overnight. You signed REACH client participation contract that states I understand that there are to be no visitor overnight guests in the apartment. This violates your special parole condition that states I will be assigned to one of several levels of community supervision and agree to participate in programs as determined by my parole officer. On March 14th, 2025, you were unsuccessfully discharged from the REACH program due to having 2 unauthorized visitors, alcohol and drug paraphernalia in the residence. This violates your special parole condition that states I will be assigned to one of several levels of community supervision and agree to participate in programs as determined by my parole officer. Charge 2, drugs. On 1/7/2025, during your case management session at REACH, you rendered a urinalysis that was positive for cocaine. This violates your special parole condition that states I will not use or have in my possession or control any illegal drug, narcotic, or drug paraphernalia. On 1/13/2025, during your case management session at REACH, you rendered a urinalysis that was positive for cocaine. This violates your special parole condition that states I will not use or have in my possession or control any illegal drug, narcotic, or drug paraphernalia. On 1/28/2025. During your case management session at REACH, you rendered a urinalysis that was positive for cocaine. This violates your special parole condition that states I will not use or have in my possession or control any illegal drug, narcotic, or drug paraphernalia. On March 6, 2025, you rendered a toxicology screening while at MCCA outpatient treatment. You tested positive for cocaine. This violates your special parole condition that states I will not use or have in my possession or control any illegal drug, narcotic, or drug paraphernalia.
He's in love with the coco.
No consumption of alcohol. On 3/14/2025, you were in possession of 3 bottles of alcohol, 3 bottles of alcoholic beverages. The bottles were removed from your pockets by parole staff. This violates your additional condition that states throughout your period on parole, you are prohibited from the consumption of alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, I gotta start this one back up again. Give me a moment.
The state has filed the following exhibits that are pre-marked for identification purposes. That's Exhibit A, statement of understanding, the agreement, conditions of parole. B, Ramon to actual custody order. C, notice of parole violation. D, notice of parole rights. E, parole violation report. F, decision information summary. G, REACH client participation contract. H, photos of incident. I, offender misconduct. J, emails from MCCA. K, REACH unsuccessful discharge report. L, REACH incident report. M, second notice of parole violation. N, New Haven CC Class A disciplinary report. And O is third notice of parole violation. Did you receive notice of parole violation report, and those other documents I marked, and did you review them, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right. Do you need to continue this hearing to obtain any additional evidence?
Thank you, Kitten.
I do not know.
Okay. We have no witnesses today. So at this time, the state will have an opportunity to make a short statement, call witnesses, or testify with respect to probable cause and the severity of the allegations. I'm going to swear in you as well, Mr. Hudal, in case you would like to speak today. So can you both please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear, silently affirm, as the case may be, the evidence you'll give concerning this case should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God upon penalty of perjury?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
All right, so at this time, it's the state's opportunity if you'd like to make any statements.
I would just like to say that Mr. Hudo has been given the a couple of opportunities to actually engage in his outpatient treatment. The reason for me placing him in top at the time was because of, I received the call from Reach, and they were in the house where Mr. Hudo had unauthorized visitors, and he was in process of, he was relapsing. At that point, outpatient was no longer an option at the time for his own safety and for the safety of the program itself. I believe that Mr. Hudo will benefit from top placement to kind of get himself back on track so that he can go back out and get another job, as we discussed, and that he can maintain his sobriety.
Thank you. Okay. So now is the opportunity to respond to all violation charges against you. However, remember that you may remain silent if you so choose. Would you like to respond to the charges, sir?
I didn't bring